This may be one of the biggest personal attacks U.S. President Donald Trump has faced yet. As Trump continues to draw flack over his closeness to 35-year-old aide Natalie Harp, a remark on President's health and virility by a former Democrat congressman has stoked a major controversy. Max Rose, who was part of a panel discussing the controversy, said he was sure that the president was not having an affair. Sure, absolutely. I think that the only thing any other Democrat should say is that Ossoff is wrong for physical reasons. Donald Trump probably couldn't have an affair with anyone right now. That's the line that these things should be going in. For so long, we have faced this Republican Party which not only flaunts any rule, right, but does so almost with pride, right, and says the American people just don't care. What people are looking at the Democrats to do now is to show that they have the guts to not leave any tool on the table in terms of their effort to beat this. That's not a bad thing. According to the Daily Beast, Max Rose was asked about Democrat Senator Jon Ossoff's jibe at Trump's closeness with Harp. Rose said, and I quote, "Sure, absolutely. I think that the only thing any other Democrat should say is that Ossoff is wrong for physical reasons. Donald Trump probably couldn't have an affair with anyone right now. That's the line that these things should be going in. For so long, we have faced this Republican Party which not only flaunts any rule, right, but does so almost with pride, right, and says the American people just don't care. What people are looking at the Democrats to do now is to show that they have the guts to not leave any tool on the table in terms of their effort to beat this. That's not a bad thing." Rose was referring to U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff's attack on Trump while invoking the controversy over the plight of sailors on board USS Abraham Lincoln.
Did y'all see Hegseth in front of that committee? Did y'all see it? Listen to this. On day 9 of the war, the incompetent Pete Hegseth guaranteed Iranian surrender. On day 14, he claimed Iran's military had been destroyed. On day 40, he said every single objective had been achieved. That was 4 months ago. They've lied nonstop about this war like they lie about everything. And they know they're lying, but they lie and they keep lying anyway because in this White House, they view persistence in deceit as a virtue. You hear me, Atlanta? And there's something uniquely despicable about lying a nation into war. Treating citizens as fools and those who serve as pawns. Aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, they've now been at sea for 240 plus days without a port call. It's a Navy record. And still they serve with excellence. And still they serve with excellence. God bless the sailors, Marines, aviators, and all aboard the United States ship Abraham Lincoln. See, they don't expect luxury. They'll endure hardship. But they deserve competent leaders who send them into combat only when necessary, and with decisive clarity of purpose, not fools who lie about the purpose and progress of war. And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Ossoff's attack on Trump over his closeness to 35-year-old Harp has not gone down well within the White House and president's family. In their book, Regime Change, New York Times reporters Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan claimed Trump appreciated Harp's loyalty, telling aides, "Everyone else will go off and make money, she'll never leave." A new report has claimed that Harp worked closely with Trump without getting a security clearance for over a year before the president intervened.
A security alarm is ringing inside Donald Trump's White House, and it centers on one of the U.S. president's closest aides. For more than a year, Natalie Harp reportedly declined to complete the paperwork for a routine security clearance. According to an MS Now report, Harp was reportedly spending extraordinary amounts of time just feet from Trump, hearing sensitive conversations, traveling with him, and helping control what information reached the president. Harp's reasoning for declining to complete the security clearance process was unknown. After concerns mounted among the White House counsel's office and security officials, Trump himself intervened. Harp eventually filled out the forms, launching a formal federal background investigation and received the clearance. A senior White House official familiar with the security clearance process claimed Harp received multiple extensions to fill out the necessary paperwork. The senior official noted that the process is lengthy and requires ample time to complete. The security clearance form, known as the SF-86, is a lengthy document that collects background information, including previous residences, financial history, and foreign contacts, and initiates a federal background investigation. According to the report, security concerns about Harp had been raised internally by the Secret Service during Trump's first year back in office for his second term. Some of those concerns centered on her access to Trump, while others dealt with her failure to obtain a security clearance. One of those people told MS Now that other West Wing employees typically filled out their security paperwork at the beginning of their tenures, and said Harp's clearance was known among some staff to be incomplete and inactive. The lack of a security clearance is one of several red flags raised by Harp by Trump's top aides since he returned to the White House in January last year. According to the report, Harp operates unusually close to Trump and filters much of the information the president receives on a daily basis. Harp's extraordinary proximity has reportedly spurred frustration inside the West Wing. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, who was stepping down from her position at the end of this month, defended Harp, calling her a loyal and hardworking member of President Trump's team. However, Trump's closeness with Harp had reportedly sparked concerns from his son, Eric Trump.
What happens when a president's inner circle starts questioning the influence of one of his closest aides, with even his son reportedly raising concerns? A new book by journalist Michael Wolff claims Donald Trump's relationship with longtime aide Natalie Harp has become so unusual that senior staff, the Secret Service, and even the president's family are alarmed. The U.S. president is rarely seen with 35-year-old Harp, who is officially the executive assistant to Trump. However, she is often called by the critics as Trump's diaper changer and human printer. According to Irish Star, Wolff in his book All or Nothing claims Harp pulled major moves to stay with Trump, including living in the locker room of the president's New Jersey golf club to stay close to him. According to Wolff, in 2023, Trump's aides were mockingly referring to Harp as the chief of staff. By 2024, there was a near revolt against her by his top aides, including Susie Wiles, who is currently White House chief of staff. As days passed, Natalie and Trump reportedly became so inseparable that she was captured by news cameras almost everywhere around the POTUS, so much so that Trump's son Eric also became concerned, but was brushed off by the president himself. According to Wolff, Trump told his son, and I quote, "She just loves her president." About Harp, Wolff wrote, and I quote, "You have to understand the extreme anomaly here, the weirdness of it all. The candidate is at all times attended by an openly besotted young woman. Love letters she's written to Trump are uncovered and passed around.
Staff members snap pictures of her mooning looks at Trump. The Secret Service expresses its concern. In his book, Wolf claimed that Harp reached out to the ground staff at the country club and got herself a maid's room. He added, and I quote, "And when they proved too far from the main house to respond quickly enough to Trump's calls, she relocated herself to the much closer women's locker room, where, with undiminished proximity to Trump, she would spend the summer." The author claims that Harp superseded the White House staff, and as well Trump's wife and family. A new viral footage has surfaced showing outgoing White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt in a tense-looking exchange with Harp during a Marine One interaction.
A tense exchange involving outgoing White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and Trump advisor Natalie Harp has sparked fresh speculation, with a lip reader now claiming to have deciphered parts of their conversation. The footage emerged just as Leavitt announced she was leaving the White House, prompting questions online about whether her departure was entirely straightforward. The 28-year-old White House press secretary announced on Wednesday that she would step down from her role at the end of August. She said the decision was driven by her desire to spend more time with her young family after welcoming her second child, daughter Viviana, in May. But shortly after the announcement, footage from what appears to be an earlier Marine One exchange began circulating online. In the clip, Leavitt can be seen sitting across from Natalie Harp, a political advisor to U.S. President Donald Trump and former television host. Trump is also present during the interaction. Leavitt appears to have her arms folded as she speaks with Harp, while both women can be seen looking at their phones at various points. At one moment, Leavitt gestures toward Harp and appears to become visibly animated during the conversation.